Hello and welcome to my tutorial for my fancy flower farm design. I like to call it fancy because it is rather really nice to look at and it has a lot of cool and useful features. First of all, we have our big storage system here with a lot of room for all the flowers and the seeds we're going to collect with it. Then we have a lever here which we can use to turn the machine on and off again. And we have a indicator light here that is flashing when the machine is running and has bone meal in it. And we have our bone meal delivery unit here with a chest on top where you can put your bone meal, and then these hoppers here will feed it into the farm. Up here you'll see the bone meal is dispensed on the grass, which will generate flowers and long grass, and that will be harvested and pushed in here by this water, and then all the items are going to fall into this storage system. So let's take a look at the redstone behind this farm. Down here on the yellow wool we have a redstone clock with a signal running around it, as you can see. This clock will power these two redstone torches up here. You can see this one powers, and then a moment later that one powers. The first one will power the bone meal dispenser and the water dispenser for the first time, and then the other one will power the water dispenser for a second time, retracting the water. And you can see it working here. Bone meal is dispensed, water is retracted again. The indicator light is really rather simple. We just have a comparator running out of our bone meal dispenser, and that is running through a repeater into this redstone lamp, which will turn on when there's bone meal in the dispenser. Our bone meal delivery is simply done by a chest up here, which you can fill with bone meal, and the bone meal will flow through these hoppers into the dropper, which you can see there. That is powered by the redstone clock down here with this block and that repeater, and that will put the bone meal into the dispenser, and then it can be dispensed out onto the grass. And last but not least, our storage system. The items will flow through this hopper down into these hoppers and will gradually fill up these chests way to the top. Now we'll take a look at the items you'll need. Of course, you're gonna need a few redstone supplies and the redstone lamp and the sticky piston. The only part that is a bit expensive to get are the 14 hoppers, but the design is called fancy, and that's what you get when you want fancy. Also, you're gonna need a few building blocks and something to put your redstone on. The grass blocks can be hard to get because you need silk touch for that, but the alternative is to use dirt and build a small dirt ladder up there so the grass can spread onto it. So now we can start building the farm. We'll start with one of our building blocks, put a lever on it, and then we'll dig down 2, and that on a length of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll place down our material for the redstone, and at the end there will be a sticky piston facing up with a block on top of it. And then here we will have the redstone signal taken down like this, and we'll put redstone dust on top of it. Down here we'll take an output here with a redstone repeater on the default setting, and this will go into a block here with a dropper facing upwards on top and a hopper. Shift click that on there facing into that. Then we'll go out 3 blocks here and place a redstone comparator here and a redstone repeater, and then we'll have a redstone dust going onto this. So the next part will be our redstone clock, and we'll start by laying down a 4x4 ring of blocks through this area, and then we'll put a block up here and a block here and a block here. Then we'll put redstone repeaters facing this way, all set to 4 ticks. And one here. And the last 2 go here and here. And we'll place a redstone dust here. If this block is pushed up, you'll have the full circuit for the redstone clock then. And we'll put a redstone torch on here and on this block as well. The next part will be the triggering system for the dispensers for the bone meal and the water. And we'll start with placing blocks on top of these redstone torches with redstone torches on the side. And we'll place blocks around here, going out 3 blocks in this direction and coming around here, with another block on top of here and a dispenser facing upwards. And into that dispenser you'll put your water bucket, and on the side of that torch here, facing upwards as well, you'll put the second dispenser, which will be for the bone meal. Now we just have to connect it up using redstone dust like this. Now we can put in our grass blocks. We'll start on the dispenser in the middle and go out 2 blocks in each direction and fill that in with grass blocks all around, except for this corner where you'll only leave out this corner so you can put your hopper for your collection area down here. The next part is our indicator light, for which we'll place 2 blocks on the side here with a redstone comparator running out of this dispenser into a redstone repeater, which will then run into a redstone lamp, which will be our indicator light. Then we want to place our bone meal delivery system, for which we'll need a temporary block here, so we can place our dropper running into this dispenser. And then we'll need a hopper line running into that dropper out like this with a chest on top. Now we need to power that dropper down here. For that we'll place a block under it and a block here with a redstone repeater running into that block, set to the default setting. The last part then is our storage system before we can finish up the build. We'll place our chests out here. I'll place 4 double chests on top of each other. You can do that by shift clicking them on, and then we shift click a few hoppers on like this and run them into this hopper here, so all the items will flow down into all the chests. So to finish things off, you don't have to forget that you need to put a item in the dropper down here, so this 1-tick pulse generator can work. And then what we'll do is just cover up all the redstone with some building blocks. I like to use green stained clay and lime stained clay because you can make a really nice pattern with it. I usually start here with the green stained clay and then work my way up and down from there. So as you can see, I've covered everything up. The last thing you want to do is you want to place a light source in the middle of your farm here. In my case I would like to use glowstone, but you can also use jack-o'-lanterns or a block with torches around. It really doesn't matter. And what's also important is that the building blocks here reach 2 blocks above the level of your grass, so that no items fall out of the collection area. So now what's left to do is we want to fill our farm with bone meal, and then we can give it a quick test and see if it's working. So it will take a couple of cycles of the clock to get the bone meal into the dispenser, but now you can see it's there and it's creating flowers and it's also collecting them. And you can see the flowers and the seeds are flowing into the large chest and the bottom here. So guys, that is it for the tutorial on the fancy flower farm. As you can see down here, it's working well, producing a lot of flowers in each turn, and they're all going in our storage system down there. What I am planning on doing is a tutorial for a scaled down, simpler version of this that is also a lot cheaper to build. That will come out in the next days. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like or a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.